It so happens sometimes that women at parties call me cheesy. So on searching the dictionary meaning, I realized they meant cheap and of low quality, which is quite ironic, actually, since cheese is really an exquisite appetizer. So by the way, I take it as a compliment, except that maybe it also implies that I smell pungent. But I can assure you, that's not true. So ladies, hello, I'm Ranjit Singh and I'm here to talk to you about this grand delicacy called cheese. You must realize that the finest cheeses aren't wrapped in plastic because they need to breathe and be treated tenderly. All cheese comes from dairy. It may be goat's milk, buffaloes, sheep or cows. Initially in 8000 BC, when cheese was first made, it was more of a survival product rather than a luxury as it is today. Believe it or not, back then, milk was stored in stomachs of young mammals. You see, the stomachs have an acid like rennet. This enables coagulation and it separates the curd from the watery part of the mixture. Nowadays, thankfully, we don't have to use these procedures. Curds are obtained organically and then flavored with enzymes and salt. They may be processed with heat or coated in mold or wax. And other things that must be taken into consideration when selecting cheese are texture, shape, size, color, flavor, and aroma. So now, let's move on to the ABC of cheese. So let's talk about the country of origin. The country where the cheese was first developed, example Brie in France. Some cheeses are strictly bound to their geographical locations. For example, Roquefort cheese. According to European law, it is strictly a name that can be given to cheese aged in natural Comblain caves of Roquefort-sous-Soissons. It has been recognized by its protected designation of origin. That is why, as law-abiding citizens, we otherwise call it blue cheese. Now, Gouda is a Dutch cheese made with cow's milk. Now, since its name is not protected, it's now produced the world over and hence the quality will thus be variable and often compromised. Now, let's talk about the types of milk. Cheese always starts with milk, but the animal it comes from can make a profound difference to its final flavor. Like cow's milk is mild, creamy, and has a subtle sweetness in its base. A lot of its flavor depends on the degree of aging and ripening. Sheep's milk is grassy and relatively tangier. It isn't as butter as a cow milk. And goat's milk has the strongest flavor of all. Bacteria plays a major role in the texture of the cheese, whether it's grainy, crumbly or smooth. Also on the exterior, it develops the flavor of the rind. Aging. Most cheeses are aged for a period of time in a temperature-controlled environment. During this process, moisture evaporates, leading to a denser paste and a more intense flavor. But before we go any further, let's talk about Indian cheeses. The most common of all is paneer. In the eastern part of India, a Portuguese colony of West Bengal, Bandel, produces a crumbly, semi-soft cheese made of cow's milk. Then there is khoya, which is used in sweets like peda and gulab jamun. There is chhena, which is basically made like paneer but with buffalo milk. This too is used to prepare sweets like rasgulla. So ladies, let's say you have a kitty party coming up and you want to come in with something different. No worries, make a grand entry with a cheese platter, or as my father likes to say it to my mom, showing off. So how do you assemble a perfect cheese platter? I'll tell you that. Number one, make sure you keep a variety and not just one type. Here on the platter we have a Brie, a Gorgonzola, a Gruyere, Grana and Cheddar. Number two, let your guests cut the cheese themselves. This makes sure that it's fresh and also keeps it socially engaging. Number three, breads and crackers go well with cheese since they are neutral and don't take the taste away. Number four, fruits like apricots and cranberries and dry fruits like walnuts and almonds also go well with cheese. Number five, cheese is all about flavors and textures, so make sure that it's neither too cold nor too hot, just room temperature. Now let's say you have a few guests over for dinner and that you've already decided a cheese platter but still undecided on the beverages. Luckily, wines complement cheeses very well. You know what they say? They say that the finest cheeses go best with finest wines. The whole secret to this is to keep it simple. The wine shouldn't overpower the taste of the cheese and the cheese shouldn't bury the taste of the wine either. Sparkling wine loves the triple creme. The bubbles complement the fattiness of the cheese really well. Sauvignon Blanc mixes well with a goat's cheese. Finally, a red wine like Pinot Noir goes well with any cheese made of sheep milk. The light and fruity taste of the wine comes out with the sweet undertones of this cheese. A Riesling wine goes well with a salty cheese or smelly cheeses. They need the lightness of the wine to balance it out. One of the most famous combinations of all are that of blue cheese, which is salty and is served with contrasting sweet desert wine. So that's all for this video. I'll sign off now, but first, I'll leave you with some few fun facts. Did you know that eating cheese before sleeping can give you a good sleep? And this is without the wine, I suppose. But here's a cheese that can ruin your sleep for years to come. Casu Marzu, an Italian cheese which is made of sheep milk which contains live insect larvae. Some people clear the larvae before consumption and others don't. I hope you liked my little talk on cheese. This video was brought to you by Greh Shobha and 1MCN Network. Hit the subscribe button if you like. I'll see you soon.